Welcome to another edition of Tom's Real Food Podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook. Yep, you can lose weight and also drop your blood sugar numbers. Let's start this podcast at number 7. Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook, and this is Tom's Real Food Podcast, number 7. Wow, 7 weeks. Like I said, past couple podcasts, I'm talking to you as if you are on your 7th week of the keto lifestyle. Okay, going back from my past of how I handled it. Okay, the only advantage I had to it was I was making videos and I was doing a lot of research. Now, here comes into play some of the enablers that are on YouTube about. Try this, eat that. You can use this. You can use that. Basically, what it came down to was people looking to get views and subscribers. Okay, I mean, I did the same thing on YouTube, but my whole mission that I was doing was to cook clean food. All right, what I mean by clean food, no additives, no substitutes. Although I tried a little bit, I did go down a rabbit hole here and there with certain things. I got a funny story I'm going to tell you in a little bit. But at this point right now, you're 7 weeks into it, okay? Like I said, I'm talking to somebody out there who is on actually week 7 of their journey, okay? Now, you lost weight. I believe my six weeks into it, I believe I was down like 30 pounds. I mean, I was like, wow, this is completely crazy. How all the different ways I tried to lose weight, okay, or get my health back, and it just kept spiraling. I just kept either gaining weight, lose a little bit of weight, gain more back. Like I said, I stopped it. I believe it was back in maybe 2015, 2016. I forget what the time frame was, but I had that poor me syndrome. Why can't I have a slice of pizza? Well, one slice of pizza brought me into losing 40 pounds, gaining 60 back. This is the problem, okay? A lot of enablers are out there. Try this. You can make keto bread. I keep bringing that up because you're going to hurt your gut if you roll that way. Now, some people say, well, no, it's fine. You can do that. But the cost, I mean, we want to do this very easy, cost effective, and get results. That's the main mission right here, getting results. Now, at this point, how much are you eating? Okay, 3 meals a day, 2 meals a day, 1 meal a day, few snacks. Okay, now my way of thinking with this is now I go back and look at some of my older videos when I first started doing this. Like I said, I was probably six weeks in. I was 30 pounds down, and I was completely out of my mind with it. Now comes the point where you start listening to and watching other YouTube channels or different TikTok and Instagram, whatever your preference is, and you're starting to see different things that people make. All right, yeah, you too. This is low carb. Man. The whole idea of being low carb is to get away from the sugar. Sugar is the killer. We're going to get into that also today. So, are you eating 3 meals a day still? Okay, that's fine. No problem. As long as it is completely very low carb, snacking, you got to be careful what you're doing with snacking. Just stop and think back a minute, okay? Your old way of eating, right? Get up in the morning, French toast, couple eggs, bacon, syrup, all right? And then you head off to work. You get to work, have a couple cups of coffee. They might have donuts there, have a donut, whatever. And then 10, 11 o'clock, you go in on your break and you go into the room and you'll have, like I said, either some kind of a cake or donut or something. Okay. Lunchtime, you go out for lunch, you have, burgers, fries, okay, shake, back to work again, work a little bit more. Now comes 2 o'clock, break time. All right. You go in, you have, maybe a couple, or a can of soda or something like that, a bag of chips, whatever. And then you go home. You're making dinner. So now you have, you already had a burger for lunch. So now you go home and say you're having a chicken. All right. chicken, baked potato, corn on the cob, and maybe a piece of cake after that. All right, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, back out, have a little bit more. Just think about that, visualize that for a minute. Okay, this boggled my mind. All right, now becoming when I was a chef, thinking about what we put out in the restaurant for people. Okay, I said, wow, the intake of carbs were like ridiculous. So now just think what I said before about with your breaks in between. That's 6, 7 times a day that you're eating something. Now, count the carbs on that. Just stop and think about it. Just like I said, get your phone. Okay. Hey Google, baked potato, a donut, whatever. You go right down the line. You're talking well over the daily dose of carbs. That is it recommended? I don't know. I mean, it just all I know is one thing, that your blood sugar is completely going crazy. Now, if you're not a type 2 diabetic, all right, you're going to feel tired. Oh man, I need to go take a nap. Sometimes at work, between lunchtime and going home, you get that afternoon, you get tired and can't wait for this day to be over. That's the cycle that we were in. Now, on this lifestyle here, you're going to start saying, well, I'm still hungry. Like I said, eat until you're full. So in the morning, if you get up, scrambled eggs, some bacon, all right? You can pre-make the bacon, all right? A cup of coffee, a little heavy cream in there. Off you go. That should hold you over for a while, all right? Lunchtime, you can go. There's places now where you can go and get cheeseburgers that are wrapped in lettuce, or get it on the bun and just take it off the bun. I mean, and not that hard. French fries are the killer. Potatoes, the starch in the potato is ridiculous. And even if it's deep fried, whatever, now you're adding insult to injury with that. So I would stay away from that. Get two burgers. Make sure that you're full. But here's the problem. All right. Eating because it is lunchtime and you're not really hungry. Okay. That you got to start weaning yourself off of that program that we had set in our brain about eating 3 meals a day. It's not needed. Okay. You can go back to the hunter gatherers. If one day they didn't get anything, Larry missed with his bow and arrow hitting a moose or whatever, you didn't eat that day. All right. So you had to make sure that when you did have food, you had not that I was there, I'm not that old, but you did have to make sure that you ate until you were full. So there again, the whole idea is to get food out of your mind. Right. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay. I eat now, like I said, coming from the restaurant business, that was always on my mind. What are we going to make? What's tomorrow's menu? What are we going to do for specials? The whole business end of it. But my personal life was working through the night, lunchtime, the whole bit, testing French fries, taking this, eating that, all the wrong stuff at the wrong time. Okay. So one day I'll put some pictures up, but I mean, I started out, I was a pretty thin guy. I was probably out of high school. I was probably 195, 200. All right. And then I leveled off at about 225, 230. Okay. And then the climb just started going. All right. When I started keto, I was 320. At this point in my life right now, I have lost 68 pounds. Okay. Now, and when I dove off early on, and I did keto going on 4 years now. About 6 months, I hurt my knee and laid up. So I was yo-yoing back and forth with it, which is not good either. You can't do that. You talk about hurting yourself, mixing yourself up. Unbelievable. So anyway, I lost 40 in the beginning, gained 60 back, and then got settled into what I'm doing, started doing the YouTube channel, and I lost up to this point now 68 pounds. Now, when I was laid up, I gained probably 15 or 16 pounds back. That's off. That's gone. Okay. And I really limited it to, I cut out all the vegetables. I went carnivore. Now that's the other thing. All right. People say, well, that's not sustainable. And this and that. It is if you have everything starts up here with the mindset. It is if you get yourself down to the point where you can't eat ribeye steaks every night unless you make a ton of money. That's number one. Number two is the mindset to getting to that point to eating once a day or twice a day. Okay, just meat is fine. I did it for uh, to find out exactly what was going on because you will. You're going to find out later on. This is all if you are a type 2 diabetic. If you're just looking to lose weight, you can get around this here. But my blood sugar started climbing again. All right. Now, there again, like I said about different spices and stuff like that I had to look into. So I eliminated everything. Eliminated everything. Phew, tough talking today. The whole idea is to get yourself to the point where food's not on your mind. You just got done eating. Ooh, I'm stuffed. I can't eat. Put another forkful in my mouth. That's the point you want to get to because you know what? Getting it out of your head, now you live in life. Hey, let's go take a ride. Let's go take a walk. It's hot out. Let's go up to the pool. Let's do some swimming. You're not constantly thinking about what am I going to eat next? What is tonight's dinner? Oh my God, am I going to have enough left over for maybe for a later snack? What are we going to make tomorrow? Take something out tomorrow. And this is the race that you're in because it's always on your mind because carbohydrates do that to you. All right. The more you eat carbs, the more hungry you become. Fat, when you eat fat, system says, whoa, that's it. No more. Can't have no more. I am full. All right. So the weight comes off. And like I said in the beginning, oh, that's water weight. Huh, okay. However way you want to measure that, that's fine. That's great. So get yourself to the point where you're full and you don't think about food anymore. Try it for a week. I'm telling you. If you can get yourself to eating maybe twice a day. Okay. Like I said before now, I'm pretty much into this routine where to get protein, I don't eat right away in the morning. I will have a cup of coffee with heavy cream in it. I don't put no MCT oil in it. I don't use butter in it. Okay. All these different, we're going to tap on these also. All these little tricks and stuff that they have on YouTube that other creators put up. Why I make this coffee with this MCT oil in it. There again, we touched on it last week. You got to be careful with that kind of stuff. Is that really how you want to do that? Adding a coconut oil or medium chain triglyceride to your coffee and then putting butter in it and get the little frother that they were selling to bring it up and, puts a little frothy cap on top of it and you sip it down. It tastes good. Okay. But how much of that do you want to? You don't need to do that. Let's put it that way. If you eat clean, my whole channel, okay, and my whole way of doing things, this thing right here is eating clean. All right. Stay away from. Today we're gonna make ravioli made from jicama. Now, come on, that's not good for your mind, number one. Number two, it doesn't taste anything like that, like ravioli. So the whole idea is if you're doing substituting, keep in your mind that guess what? This is not pasta. Okay. This is this root, but we're cooking it a different way. So you got to start pivoting a little bit away from mimicking stuff and being realistic about what it really is and what it really tastes like. Okay, so a couple things I did, and I said, "What the hell am I doing? This tastes like crap." So that's the other thing. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go have a hamburger and with a bun, and I miss it and the whole bit. Come on. It's like the little guy on this shoulder and the other guy on this shoulder. Yeah, do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. That's what it likes to boil down to. But you know what we're going to do right now? We're going to take a little break and we're going to come back and we're going to dive into sugar. I want you to see the video that's coming up for this week. Second half of this podcast is brought to you by Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook. Last week we showed you how we took one piece of meat, cut some steaks out of it, and had a delicious dinner. This week we're going to show you how we took the other part of that meat, added a little bit of pork trimmings, and ground it up. And this week's video is going to show you how I got 2 more meals out of this one piece of chuck. All right, let's get back to the podcast. Well, there you see, that was part 2. And it worked out. Well, that was that one piece of meat that I made, that I cut from the whole chuck. I still got more in the freezer. And I made them 3 different dinners out of it. Now, the meatballs, like I said, here's what we're going to get into now. I'm going to make them with the spaghetti squash, but I'm going to use cut up some vegetables rather than diving into a sauce right away. So if like I said, if one tomato is 5 grams of carbs, that has the natural sugars and stuff in it. Well, if you cut it up and split it between the two of us, now you're starting to drop the carb intake to a minimum, to where you can get away with it and checking your sugars and stuff like that later on. I do have to say one thing though. Now this is me, my personal thing that's going on here is I've noticed if I do have some other kind of carbs or whatever, and it elevates it a little bit, my sugar reacts to it very quick. I mean, it goes where it would normally wouldn't. So I don't know if it's that it's missing the glucose or whatever. Like I said, next couple of weeks I'm going to go get my insulin check. Let me get into that a little bit also. So checking your insulin is something they don't do because you know what? It's very hard to measure from what I understand. Now, to my knowledge, I have never had an insulin test, see where my insulin is, because it is constantly moving up and down, undulating, throughout your body. If you bang your head or hit your finger on something, insulin spikes, cortisol jumps, insulin spikes. So it's constantly going. So there's no level number. And I'm starting to be a little skeptical also about blood sugars. Same way. My blood sugar's been running high. Now, when I mean high, it's like 200 up to 200. Now, if you look at the scale, without getting too deep into this, if I'm diagnosed as a type 2 diabetes, so like 140 to 160, and then it can go up to there or go up to 200. I can't get a straight answer from anybody. Let's put it that way. Well, that's your body, and that's the way it works. I don't think it's that same way. I don't think blood pressure. Okay, I go through this every time. Now, if there's somebody out there that has an answer to it, please send me a message. Leave me a drop. Put something in the comments down below, because this is ongoing for other people also. Anybody I talk to, well, yeah, my blood sugar went up. Well, I can have this and I can have that, and it doesn't spike my blood sugar. So it's individually. But when I go to the doctor, from where the room is, they walk me all the way down to the back of the office, put me on a scale, and then walk me back up into that first waiting room. I'm huffing and puffing. I want to get up there. Hey, I'm not a little guy. Get in there, and the girl right away comes over. Shh. Oh, your blood pressure's high. Oh, no shit. I just did a marathon, that in the hallway. Plus, I know for a fact I got white coat syndrome, which is when you see a doctor right away, your blood pressure goes up. And then after the doctor comes in and I do my spiel with the doctor, and we butt heads about what I'm doing and how things are working and why I lost the weight and how I lost the weight. Anyway, and then they do my blood pressure again, and guess what? It's fine. It's okay. Wow. Oh, okay. And then they just but right away they're ready to turn around and say, hey, wait a minute, we're going to have to up your blood pressure medication. That's the next thing I'm going to get into with them a little bit. Now, I'm going to be turning 70 years old in October, late October. So what I'm saying, I'm right now with this whole podcast thing is I'm fishing for the younger people that are out there that are actually hurting themselves right now. All right. So heed this warning. Okay. Be careful. Take care of yourself. Start looking into this early in life, and look to better your health, so you don't have to worry about this later on. You can, you can do what you want. Now, I'm no jogger or anything like that, but I do walk. I play the drums. I play in a band, and yeah, I mean, that's my exercise. That's how I get around. Okay. Um, there again, as far as with the mimicking foods and stuff like that, stop it. Don't do that. Eat it for what it is. Okay, if you're going to have zucchini fries, they look like fries. Don't expect them to be like French fries, because they are not. If you're going to have spaghetti squash, which I do recommend eating, okay, because it is really good, very filling, pretty nutritious for you, and there's multiple ways that you can use it. All right. Later on in these podcasts, I'm going to do some recorded cooks, and I'm going to just target it for this, podcast thing. Sugar. Wow. This is, I mean, well, I constantly are watching the different doctors, different professors, different scientists, and stuff like that, and I'm trying to come away with what's going on here. I mean, sugar's bad. It really is bad. Like I said, I don't get too far into with conspiracies, but it certainly does seem like everything's pretty much tied together. Big food, okay, sugar and everything, high carbohydrates and everything, which is sugar. All right. Also, then tied into what to take over the counter vitamins and stuff like that, and then repeat it over and over again. Then you go to the doctor, not feeling good. Okay, let's do your blood work. Whoa, A1C's up. Maybe we better start put you on metformin, and then now you start that. Like I said, you're chasing your tail in that little cage there. So, my personal opinion on it. There again, I'm not a doctor, not a scientist. Although back in the 70s, I thought I was a scientist, but no, let's not go there. Sugar is slowly killing us. I mean, I hate to say this. I'm watching now. My eyes are opening up to watching small children, okay, with the candy, and then you watch them run around, and people say that has no effect on it, and that something's triggering it for them to be that hyped up. And then you hear no, it has nothing to do with it. But here's my question: if we know sugar's bad for us, okay, why is it targeting kids, with cereals, candy bars, and stuff like that, or putting into something? And here's the one that really gets me: eat this, very healthy. Now people say, "Oh, look at that! I can have this," and then they're regurgitating quotes as far as, well, this has so many carbs in it, when they have no knowledge. Oh, look, this is good because it has high fructose corn syrup in it. Corn's good. We eat corn. It's okay. We can have this. This is the problem, okay? And what happens is, when we turn around, a guy my age, okay, is expected to have fatty liver, expected to start jumping into type 2 diabetic, becoming a type 2 diabetic, I should say. Also, when they say pre-diabetic and stuff like that, I mean, come on. Well, here's what we're going to do. Try eating this, or try having that. You got to cut back. You got to go to the ADA site and listen to what they have to tell you. Then they send you over there with beans. Eat beans, eat this, and all that stuff is high in carbohydrates that they're doing. And there again, it didn't work. 90 days later, get your blood work. That didn't work. So, all right, you know what? Let's try insulin. All right. So, knowing damn well that now, I'm not blaming doctors. Don't get me wrong. This is what happened to me, and this is my fight, and I'm just trying to pass it along to you to be aware. So, sugar. I mean, I watched a lady in a store, had the kid was eating these gummy things and stuff like that, and in the cart. I'm saying, you're hurting this little guy. I mean, stop that. Don't give him that. Well, and even with fruit, now there again, I can't have fruit if I'm type 2 and I'm watching what I'm doing. Grapes are the killers. I love grapes. I love wine. Okay. I have a glass of wine now and then. I'm trying to let people know that be aware of what you're doing. And if you do trip and fall a little bit, or you do have something, expect to be your blood sugar to be high, expect to feel like crap. Okay. And then you got to get back up onto the horse again. The more you stay away from this stuff, okay, that is hurting you, the better off your life is going to be. All right. But if you keep going back and, I can have this and I can have that, I can have 3 grapes I can have. Well, you know what? Maybe you can. I can't. My blood sugar goes through the roof, and then I feel really feel bad. So, people, I watched the thing with. I'm not going to mention anybody's names or anything like that, but I watched this one person about keto. Okay, keto, low carb, carnivore, and stuff like that. And well, they're chasing their tails. It's just you can eat everything you want in moderation. Oh, really? Okay, let's hear this guy out. Okay. You know what? It's just like, if you're fat, put the fork down. Good advice. Oh yeah, let's listen more to this guy. Eating a lot of high fats and will raise your cholesterol to the point of heart disease. Continue. Uh, well, it's this whole diet thing is like alcoholism. Whoa, wait a minute. What are you talking about, sir? Yeah, just put the drink down, walk away. Also, like drug addiction, just push it away and walk away. We are sugar addicted. I don't care what anybody says, any doctor out there. We are so accustomed to having sweeter foods, fructose, whatever you want to call it, but we are sugar addicted. Everything we have has sugar in it. That's why I said you got to become a label reader. All right. Learn, Google it. I mean, that's what it's there for. Um, high fructose corn syrup, sucrose. Okay. Now, the sweeteners. Now, they have, this was my argument for a while too. I mean, like stevia and stuff like that. Stevia it bothered me. It really did. Now, they say it starts as soon as you put it into your mouth. Now, a couple people are saying when you smell something sweet, it can make your blood sugar jump. Okay, your let's put it this way, your insulin activate. All right. Now, according to the doctors, I'm insulin resistant. So if I smell something sweet, they're saying that my insulin jumps. Not good. Okay. I always wondered, get off topic here a little bit. I always wondered all the years that I made breads and pizza doughs and cakes and stuff like that in the restaurant business, that mixing the flour, okay, with my hands, with the sugar in it and stuff like that. Okay, they say everything your skin is porous that it gets in. I mean, if you put gasoline on your hand, it gets absorbed, right? I always wondered. I don't know if anybody did any tests on that to see if the absorption, was the same way. But I don't know. Getting back to the sugar, they have all these different monk fruit, all that stuff. Now, if it doesn't bother you, by all means use it. Okay, but here's the key. Here's what I did. I knew that flour was no good. All right, and even if I made something that had, let me turn the volume down here. Even if I made something, okay, with a sweetener in it, not non-sugar, all right, a stevia, mixed up flour and put stevia in it instead, my blood sugar is still going to spike from the flour. Okay, so there again, getting back into the coconut flour, almond flour, and now you're putting stevia in. You don't know if the body is going to reject it right away, or you're going to get sick from it. You have no idea how your gut's going to react. So, my point of view here is I'm going around rambling a little bit here, going around to where I eliminated the sweets from my life. Okay. It's not bothering me. I'm not craving it anymore. All right. I mean, if you have a sweet tooth, it might take you a little bit longer, but I just stop back and think about this. Okay. Um, Back in the day, okay, you didn't have the candy store around the corner. I mean, people, would go into town and get something, but we weren't eating sugar on a daily basis back then. Okay, so we can wean ourselves off of sugar, get away from the cakes and that sort of stuff. It takes time. Okay, but this one guy was watching. He's saying, "Well, it's like alcoholism. Just push the drink away." Now, you don't want to tell people that. That's honestly, that's bullshit. Okay, you don't want to treat people like that. If you have an addiction, you got to take care of it. You got to talk about it, and you got to make sure that you get among people that are going to help you, not hurt you. I mean, this is ridiculous the way they talked about. Sugar is the same way. We are a nation of sugar freaks. No other way around it. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Now they're coming up with allulose. Now they're saying, now, I don't know that much about it. I tried it. Um, it did affect me the wrong way. Okay, like I said, like the MCT oil affected me, but I don't know. Maybe I might have been using it wrong, or maybe too much. Whatever. I'm going to give it another shot. But there again, I'm weaning myself away from anything sweet. Okay, like I said, when I did this, starting to reset myself, I was aware, but I didn't know the reaction to a can of tomato paste that is not sweet at all, but the carbs were high in it per serving. Okay, so that's why I keep going back to read the labels. Yeah, so I mean, if you have your coffee with sugar and try the different ones, stevia, monk fruit. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them out there. Some of the sugar alcohols I would just don't even think about. It just don't even, they bother me, and I know they bother other people. So, well, the next thing, and I don't want to be windbagging here too long, is fiber, and we're going to get into this discussion a little further on down, maybe the next on podcast number 8, because this is very important. This is another area, okay, where keto is not good for you. The carnivore diet is even worse for you because it doesn't contain fiber. You need fiber. Your system needs fiber. Well, I am probably let's see, I am probably 9 to 10 weeks into just meat, a little bit of vegetables coming in. Okay, fiber doesn't play a role, not at all. Nutritionally, it never did work for me. Now this is when you're getting back into the net carbs. All right, when you're reading the label, it has 30 grams of carbs, 24 dietary fiber. Okay, and deduct that from there, so you have 8 carbs or whatever the math is. Didn't work like that for me. Okay, so these are the caveats that you got to be careful of. You got to watch. You really got to watch if you are serious about getting your blood sugar back in order, or back to a point where you're feeling good. There again, it's a when you take your blood sugar, it is a snapshot in time as far as I'm concerned, because I did in a matter of a couple minutes, I did every finger. Okay. Uh, different readings. Were they far off from the first time to the last time? Yeah, they were a little bit off. So there again, it's a snapshot in time. Your blood pressure is a snapshot in time. So how they put this all into the works were for medications. All right. They don't talk too much about diet. All right. So what we're going to get into with the fiber end of it, if fiber is so detrimental to your health and stuff, why is there so much colon cancer? Why is it that younger people are getting colon cancer rather than older people? All right. Because and these are, you got to have fiber. You got to have this, drink this shake It's got double fiber in it, and it's going to help you. There's an article I had mentioned a couple podcasts ago about these two doctors were talking about it, and I'm still trying to get some evidence on it of where they are. What group is paying them to say this. So that's basically what it is. How many zeros at it, and naturally they fall in line. But it said also, the headline was, fiber can make your poops be stuck. All right, so I need to look into that a little bit, but it didn't get into it a little bit too much, and it kept popping up advertisements on it. So I didn't get a good read on it, but sometimes it makes sense. I know for a fact that I was on one of these injectable drugs. I don't want to name it because I don't want to get sued. And also eating a little bit more vegetables. All right. On keto, I lost a little bit more weight, not much. Okay. But then this shot and the fiber, I became constipated. This is, it's a touchy subject here, but it's got to be told. You have to be careful with this stuff, because for 1 week, I didn't go to the bathroom at all. Called the doctor's office, and this is the response I got. Okay. Well, go and get over-the-counter, what do you call it? Like extract milk of magnesia or something like that. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? All right. You want me to be bound up for a week and then drink something to, no. And back then we were just getting ready to have a toilet paper shortage. Ain't happening. So I got away from that kind of stuff. There again, don't be afraid to talk to your doctor. Tell me you want a lifestyle change. Do your research. Okay. I'm going to go find out exactly where my insulin is. And there again, that's sketchy. Is it too low? Okay. Is it way too high? What's the answer? I know I'm not a type 1 diabetic because my glucose is high. Now, the other measure is my meter any good? Then I'm taking this blood sugar with. My A1C says I was the last time was like 9. So I went from in the beginning 7 point something down to 5.6, 5.6 back up to 9. So there again, is that a measure in time also? And I know it's 90 days for your blood to cycle, but was it a full 90 days or was it totally different? So these are all the questions you got to research with it. Eating, you got to eat clean, no labels. Look at broccoli, look for the labels, look at asparagus, different foods. You got to stay away from corn and root vegetables, starchy vegetables, until you keep this thing going. But don't give up. It's worth it. You might start feeling pretty good. I know for a fact if you lost some weight, you're feeling much better. Don't give in to these areas with people saying, well, here, try this. This is keto friendly. No, run the other way. Completely run the other way. So next week, we're going to get into fiber, and I'm going to give you my take on what's going on with the fiber end of it. Do we need it? Do we not need it? Is it any health benefits to us? We'll get into that. All right, everybody, listen, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like, subscribe. Swing over to Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook. Also, hit the like and subscribe. Check out this video coming up this week. I took one piece of meat, made 3 different meals out of it. There again. Also, you can join the channel. I have no perks for it yet, but it's only 99 cents a month. So if you can, check it out. Listen, everybody, thank you. Take care. Stay safe. Eat clean. See you next week.